Elon Musk is following Hitler's blueprint. I did a little bit of digging after he visited the AfD rally in Germany. AfD is basically far-right Germany. They're known for being neo-Nazis. He was telling them not to be ashamed of their past, their history, or their culture, to be proud of who they are and their history. He said their kids shouldn't be affected for what their great-grandparents did, and their great-grandparents shouldn't even be ashamed. So I looked into Hitler. Hitler didn't just say, hey everybody, go get the Jewish people. Hitler had these exact same sentiments to the Germans. See, after World War I, there was already a lot of Jew hate, but it was mainly in Russia. Hitler actually served as a soldier in Germany during World War I. And when they lost, they were looking for someone to blame it on. There was this rumor going around that it was Jewish people's fault because they stabbed them in the back. That was the rumor. Hitler bought into this. Is this sounding familiar yet? I can't get a job because of me. I can't get a job because of this person that doesn't look like me. We need to put America first. Before the Holocaust, they had a saying to put Germans first. It gets crazier. So Hitler bought into the rhetoric that Jews stabbed them in the back, started spreading this propaganda to everybody he knew. He told them we lost the war because of Jews and we're in a major economic crisis because of Jewish people. And the solution is to eradicate Jewish people. I'm going to relate this to Elon Musk and his Nazi salute from 2 days ago and his rally in AfD today. Hitler created a national enemy that everybody could get behind. Wait, my life's bad because of Jewish people? You telling me I hate everything right now because of Jews? I'm poor because of What does that sound like? DEI? Affirmative action? It's the immigrants? Back to Hitler, not Elon. Hitler's arguments and reasons for this made him strong enough to win the election because of his promise to make Germany a great economic place again. What does that sound like to you? Make America great again. Here's what's insane, what we're living in right now. Once Hitler got into power, he started creating more and more laws for Jewish people. It kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. What does that sound like? DEI, affirmative action. If you don't know, Trump just removed the Tuskegee's history from our history books and the Air Force. Tuskegees were the first black airmen to serve the United States. Back to Hitler, he's justifying and tighter and tighter and tighter on the Jewish people's freedom. We need to put Germans first. Didn't Trump say he's on a mission to fire all DEIs in the government? How are you going to figure that out? Back to Hitler. It got to the point that they removed citizenship from Jews. What does that sound like? And he was described as having a psychopathic hatred for Jews. You can't come out and say this. You have to slowly get everybody on the train and convince them and justify poor treatment of those individuals. Now, what does that sound like? It is the exact same history of slavery. I took a couple African studies classes and American history classes while I was in college, got A's in all of them. Did you know one of the ways they used to convince themselves that it was okay to treat slaves poorly to make things up about them? They would say they have tougher skin so they can take the whips. They would say, well, we're giving them a food and bed. They had to call them property because they were fighting their own guilt. They had to justify and justify and justify. Back to Hitler. Did you know there's still people justifying the Holocaust? Specifically Nazis. They say such things as, if I didn't do it, I would have been shot. Would have been shot? You weren't even at war. You were the aggressor. You were doing the shooting. But you see, they have to justify and because they know they're wrong and the guilt is too much for them to bear. You can't say I can treat this person bad because they deserve it. You have to say I can treat this person bad because they deserve it, because this is my country and not that. There always has to be some justification. Elon Musk recently attended an AfD rally in Germany. The AfD is a far right-wing Germany party known to be neo-Nazi. It arose right after Germany defunded another party that was straight up neo-Nazis. As I said in the beginning, he went there and told them that they should be proud of their culture and history. This takes place 2 days after he Nazi saluted twice on stage and never denied it, by the way. And even if he did deny it, we already know what he did. He's had these Nazi allegations for a long time, and he used to repost things on X all the time about how Jewish people had a hatred against whites and just conspiracy theories. Here's where it gets even crazier. I'm actually going to drop a deep dive on this. I looked into Elon Musk's grandparents' history. You see, Elon Musk's dad said that Elon's grandparents are both Nazis. Elon Musk's wife's parents, so Elon Musk's grandparents, are Nazis. They would write about the same conspiracies about Jewish people. Elon Musk's dad said it was so bad that he had to stop going to his wife's house because he would try to correct them. And then they would say he's no longer allowed over at the house and try to get her to break up with him because that's how deep rooted it is. I'll give you some more examples. Elon Musk's grandparents moved to South Africa because they agreed with the apartheid of the government. That was the sole reason for going. They knew the government was a strong believer in Nazism outside of Germany. Before they were in South Africa, they lived in Canada, where Elon's grandfather wrote that he sympathized with the Nazis. He was a radical conspiracy theorist that expressed racist, anti-Semitic, and anti-democratic views. Does the apple not fall far from the tree? Let's go a little bit deeper. The second Elon's grandfather got to South Africa, he told a reporter, words out of his mouth, I came here for the apartheid government. Elon's grandfather believed in a Jewish domination plot. Who does that sound like? If it rhymes with Fittler, you are correct. Elon's grandparents also said they went to South Africa because they were leading a white Christian civilization that was against their Jewish conspiracy to rule the world. All of this is fact checked. I went to his writings. There is currently a video on the internet of Elon's dad saying out of his mouth, yes, his grandparents were Nazis that supported Hitler, which led me to do this digging in the first place. His words fall true. Now remember, this is the grandparents of Elon's mother's side, so his dad may not be a Nazi. Overall, we seem to be following the exact blueprint that Hitler did in Germany, which led to the Holocaust. America's following the exact blueprint Hitler made for Germany, and Elon Musk saluted on stage twice and now went to an AfD far extremist right party in Germany that's known for being neo-Nazis, telling them to be proud of who they are. Germans first, America first, laws against these people, DEI, affirmative action. We are literally reliving history. They used to say history has a strange way of repeating itself. I've done extensive research on all these topics. I don't even know if anybody else could have made these connections. I wouldn't have even made this video if Elon didn't attend the AfD rally in Germany and tell them to be proud of their history. And for those with too low of an IQ to understand that you're being gaslighted, or maybe you're not, maybe you're like Elon and you just need to justify and justify and justify, which is why you behave this way. This is who you are. So if you are justifying this behavior, understand that everybody else knows what you are. And it's time to look in the mirror and tell yourself what you are.